Some say we're rich and prospering yonder wildest dreams. It could be true, I dinna ken. Is that really how it seems?
Oh yes, there's been lots of changes. There's more money about, more people travelling. It's a good thing right enough.
Aberdeen train go?
Aberdeen 10:35, so.
You got a ticket on board?
You get one, you have time, so 10:35, lady. Platform 3. It's a different happiness from the old days. The old days are, it's a truer happiness, really.
Here you go.
Right, so there we are now. Right.
So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, no, I don't think I've seen a lot of changes. I think probably if I live near the oil, I may do. If I stay near the oil, and I'm glad that's come for Scotland's sake. I'd like to see prosperity here. More prosperity for the Scots. I think they're entitled to it. No, I haven't seen that many changes. I've come now to Scotland for how many years? I've come about 14 years now, I believe, twice a year. The hotels are excellent, and I like the civility. The whole setup in Scotland altogether. No, I haven't seen that many changes, not yet. Not yet. Nothing for the worse. Well, no, I think this is a fantastic country, mate. Never change.
Everything is going all right in Abermore. Cairngorm's developing well. A few more chairlifts, we'll put everything right up there, and more hotels and more work for the people. I think everything will come out all right. Prices, everything's going up too high, I think. The cost of living and everything's going up. There's changes. As I said, they're coming and going. Seeking elsewhere. The weather's changed and everything too. Yes, the seasons have changed and all.
I've just come off night duty. I work in the railway. I was working midnight to 8. And I like to have a shave before I go home in the morning. I've seen big changes in the north, especially since the end of the war. And I think all the changes are for the good. I'm very pleased to see the industries coming to the north of Scotland. There are more people staying in the area now. Before, they used to have to leave the area and seek employment elsewhere. But now there are a lot of people coming back to the Highlands. I can just remember the conditions before the war, and I certainly wouldn't like to go back to the kind of life that people lived up here then. In fact, I always remember it as there had been 3 classes up here. There was men, gentlemen and toffs. And the gentlemen and toffs usually come up to the Highlands for 2 or 3 months in the year. They were up here shooting or fishing. But maybe whilst the hills and the heather and the lochs look very nice, it's not very easy to make a living out of them. That's why I'm pleased to see the industries coming here. I wouldn't have liked to have been a family man in the past, but it's much better nowadays. Your children have much better opportunities, better education, and once they've finished their education, there's the opportunities for them to start working in this area. And I'm quite sure it's going to increase even more once the North Sea oil starts flowing.
Quite a lot of changes, especially in all the old buildings going down and the new ones going up. But there's plenty of money, but they're not building up houses for the youngsters of today. And the schools, they could do with being done that too, some of them. Some are another 100 years old, that schools. You know, teaching the kids in the huts, this day and age.
Is money coming into the Highlands helping the Highlands or not? In a way it does help. Money isn't needed in the Highlands. There was the population. Now there isn't the population, it's going the other way. I'm not in favour of the money coming into the Highlands, but I think it's needed. We live near Abbeymoor, just south of Abbeymoor, in the hills. Few sheep, and, well, it's a way of life we want. We came here before the Abbeymoor Centre started up. The quality of life, as we found it then, has changed. Quite definitely changed. There's more money. It's stopped the depopulation of the Highlands. But I don't know that that is a good thing. For years we've talked about, worried about the depopulation. Now we worry the other way.
I think we've lost our essential goodness. People chase money now, and they put money their God, instead of God their God, I think. But then I'm old-fashioned and I'm square. But I'm awfully glad I'm square. What do you think?
I believe in eternal life, and not just material things in this life is everything. I'd prefer to see a more simple life and less of a rat race. I think it's going to become a rat race now, like cities are, and it's becoming more like city life, and I think it would be better if it stayed simple and plain, and money didn't matter so much, but other things mattered.
All the mums in our area go out and work. I think it's a good thing in the way that they have cars and they can give their family more, but I think the old method of life of friendliness was more important. You know what your neighbour was doing. If she was sick, you would help her. Now they're too busy, they're out working, they don't know.
And the quality of life is definitely spoiled.
Oh yes. Oh yes, I think so. They had simple things before and you entertained in your home. Now they go out and they've got to spend masses of money to entertain, I think. Don't you?
Money never spoiled anybody, did it? I don't really think so. I think that's prosperity.
We've enjoyed it very much, what we've seen so far.
Very lovely country.
Well, the Americans are taking over a big firm down in Longman, Harch and Wilson's, and that firm was a good firm on its own, and now people's leaving out of that because I used to work there. People are leaving now because the Americans are taking over, and they're trying to take over the oil rigs, and the government's taking the money from the oil rigs.
Well, this is one thing, I've never ever actually met an American, or ever seen Americans in Inverness.
Oh, I have.
I haven't.
It's not true that there's a boom. It's not true that we're getting more money because we're not. Social Security still pay you the same. So they do. Not that I'm on it, but I know they do.
They're building a new bridge, they've got a new theatre being built. There's quite a lot being done in Inverness.
Building a community centre now.
Aye, that's now.
That's now, but that won't be ready for another 2 years, you could say. In that 2 years' time, we're going to be growing up and we're not going to, maybe married, we're not wanting to go into that then. And then our life's wasted. That's what I think too.
I feel that there's not enough for youngsters anyway.
A lot of people get into trouble, don't they?
More or less the youngsters I feel sorry for because they get into so much trouble. There's really nothing much for them to do in Inverness.
So they're getting, charged by the police all the time. It's true because they are.
Yes, I think they've a better chance than me ever won. And I had my family, they weren't just as well off, they weren't as big a wages, they had less than what the youngsters has got nowadays. And I think some of the youngsters still at school has pocket money about £1 or so. You can see them coming in at the cafeteria. And they've got more money than ours ever had. I don't think they're any happier than me were, my youngsters were when they were young. They were more content with what they got. They're very contented nowadays.
Well, we didn't have so much, but I think we enjoyed ourselves more with what we had. We used to go to the dances, maybe go a few miles away out into the country. A bus going and a bus coming back.
Can I go past?
Dances went on about 3 o'clock in the morning in those days.
Thank you.
Oh, well, I don't think they dance at all now. They just shuffle about. I don't think they enjoy themselves the way we did. Well, they seem to get far too much to spend. They're far too much money.
186.
265.
180.
265 pounds.
Yeah, it's a lot for what you get. It's awful, they're awful tinny, and they don't seem to be worth the price. But that's what you got to pay. Work after school to get the money, and it's pretty hard working all the time, and going to school.
Well, if you want anything nowadays, you've got to work for it. You don't just get handouts.
After work, something was after schools and at nights and most weekends to make the money for this.
Parents keep saying that, oh, you've got a much better life now, you're spoilt and all that. But other times you're going on, oh, we used to enjoy ourselves, we used to loaf about street corners and this, you know. They contradict themselves all the times. They can't make up their minds if they had a better time than us or not. For the young people, Inverness hasn't improved at all. It's got worse, if not better.
There's one youth club in Inverness at the moment. Well, one half decent one, and one not bad one. And they're not open all the time, and there's nothing much else to do apart from that. There's only really just about one dance hall in Inverness. Nowadays they don't seem to go to church or anything like that. Not so religious, the younger people. There's the odd one or two.
Oh yes, the quality of life has vastly improved. Simply because over the past 15 years people have been used with going out and having a meal. Now they're demanding a higher standard of meal, a higher standard of service. It's here to stay, the fact that people eat out. It's part of our living. The late 1920s, things were difficult then because of the Depression. And even getting of food, purchasing of food was a difficulty, simply because of lack of money, lack of employment. Particularly people that had to budget these days, and our mothers, people like that, it was extremely difficult. And on most occasions they were old women before their time, simply because of lack of money, rent to pay, food to buy, clothes. But this worry doesn't appear to present itself now.
We're getting more holiday makers coming to Inverness. We've got this oil industry going on. They're working with the new bridge. That's drawing a lot of people to Inverness.
Hotels, cafeterias, restaurants are being built all over Britain, and this is to cater for this new customer. The fact that the family eat out now. Well, the catering industry is a booming industry.
There's going to be a scarcity of meat throughout the Highlands. I think the future for farming looks very black on the west coast. I'm from Glenelg, and I farm at Glenelg on the west coast opposite Skye. I think they're feeling rather depressed at the moment, the farmers, and I'm afraid that there's a lot of them will go to farming unless there's an improvement.
Single to Perth for tomorrow, please.
I'd like to travel to Skye tomorrow morning. Can you help me, please? Well, the train departs at 10:36 and arrives in Kyla-Flash at 1:38.
Well, how long does it take to get there? 2.5 hours. More people can afford sleepers now. In the old days, you had to just sit up and make the best of it. But nowadays, they can afford the sleepers and that little bit extra. Oh, which they couldn't
There's
afford.
no
nowadays.
doubt about it.
But yet it
The
doesn't
oil
make them
coming
happy.
to Scotland has made a difference.
But yet it hasn't made them any happier.
No,
They don't appear to be happier,
No,
do they?
they don't. But people are more serious, don't you think?
Oh, definitely they are.
They
Never
don't
get-
laugh the way we used
No.
to.
Oh no, we used to get a lot of laughs in the old days, but I used to work in the railway 1943 to 54, and there was a lot of fun in those days, but I'm afraid it's gone now.
I know, and people do have more money, but still.
The only laughs we get now, Dorothy, is the drunks coming in, and that's
Yes,
quite
we do.
often. I get quite a few of those.
Gordon's been behind for years and years. Why not come forward now and go ahead with it? If it's oil, get it out.
To the benefit of Scottish people.
Yes, it's
you
going
know.
to benefit the people.
I think it's a good thing for Scotland. I don't think it's changing anything, not to a bad extent. No, the one problem I see is drinking. We're drinking too much, we're getting too much money in, especially the young people. That's one big problem, I think. Don't you?
Yes. See what I mean?
It was me that touched on the drink subject first.
See, in Glasgow, if you want to make money in Glasgow, you've got to leave Glasgow. You can't make that £100 a week in Glasgow. You can't. You've got to leave Glasgow to make £100 a week. That's
No,
what I'm
but
saying.
what we was on about was, see, at one time the money, there wasn't plenty of money, was there?
No.
Everything was all skimp and scrape, wasn't it? But as now, there's all better money in the jobs.
Of course there's better money now.
But that's what they're on about. You know what I mean? Big, big difference.
But-
I mean,
but-
the money, the wages has tripled themselves, but you're having to do treble hours to get them.
But I know that. I know you got me. But you've got to go away from home. If you want plenty of money, you've
Oh,
got to
you
go away
walk
from
away
home.
from home, the
You know,
conditions and all
you'll not get £100 a week or £80 a week in Glasgow. You've got to travel to get me that money.
That's true.
And you've got to sacrifice your wife and your wains and
some
all that.
Some places you're paying at £15, you know, 15
For
guineas or
digs.
15 for digs. Just bed and breakfast. Then you've got to buy your evening meal. Then you've all your clothes and your laundry and everything to do. So really it's balancing itself out. You're not all that better off, are you?
I know, but what I'm trying to say is, you earn 30 quid in Glasgow, right? 30 quid. Because that 30 quid I'm earning, I could earn that 30 quid and go home every Friday night with my wife and my wains with 30 quid. Then go up north and work for 100 odd quid. Because the 100 odd quid, you're still sending the same money home every week. You know what I mean? And you're getting drunk when you spend all the money.
I mean, how much a week is it worth to live out a suitcase? Would you like living out a suitcase? You know what I mean? You've no sideboard and that. Your suitcase is just... You go with a young lady, your suit's crushed. And you go for a shirt that's crushed. Your dirty washing, all your clean washing's on the same suitcase. You know what I mean?
Well, you put it this way.
You're nobody's
If
dog, buddy.
You live away
You're
from him.
everybody's.
You live away from him. Who's washing your clothes? Who's washing your clothes? You're
Myself.
washing it, and I'm washing my own clothes.
Nobody else will do it for you. Nobody else wants you.
Yeah, but unless you've got a wife, and don't you think £100 is a lot of money? You should give double that money for travelling that man. Nick Bay, there's Nick Bay and all that. They're talking about Nick Bay and plenty of money. What about reading Malik, that tunnel? Well, I tell you, my rate, 65 pence an hour.
Working up to your knees in water.
£6.
See where you eat,
£1 a
where
day
you eat,
shift
you
money.
sit there eating, and if you want the toilet, while I'm eating, you go behind me in every toilet.
there
And
you are.
I'm eating and it comes past in the water.
So they are talking about good money.
It's good money, but look at the conditions.
Aye. What I'm saying, they say good conditions. I'm telling you, it's no good. Good money, yes. If you're a single man, yes, it's good
And I'll
conditions.
tell you something else that gets my back. Why should the English all of a sudden step in and say this oil or whatever it is belongs to us? This is all wrong. All together.
And before that,
they
we
didn't
know.
want to know Scotland when Scotland had not. And all of a sudden, Scotland's got a claim. England as they are, straight in. I see if you go into the brew and you say, I want a job at £50, they look at you as if you're daft, don't they? No, you can't.
As I'm saying, it's because you near enough 8.5 quid return, right? For 8.5 quid return for the camp, right? You go home. You go home Saturday morning. You're there Saturday night. You got to come back on Sunday night. So you only got 1 day. You only got 1 day to home, right? Out of all that. So 80 or 90 quid. Is it worth it?
Well, I think that for a young couple to get a house or to buy a flat, nowadays the prices have gone shooting up so high that I think it's very hard for them to get a place. I myself am just married, and I was after a flat, and now flats are around about 6,000 in Inverness to buy. And I think it's a bit too much for any young couple to start in life to buy a flat. Houses are the same, they've doubled, and myself, I think that's just a bit too much for anybody in the sort of job that I'm in, or anybody that's in a low-paid job to start off buying a house or a flat. I think it's just a wee bit too much for them, you know. Well, I think the way things have developed in Inverness, with the oil coming to the district here, I think it's comparing it to the olden days and to now, I think that people were a lot happier in the olden days than what they were now. I think myself that the cost of things has shot up so high with the oil coming in, and I think now things will change probably when the oil does come in, probably be a thing for the better then, you know. Okay?
Inverness has seen many changes over the years. About 1960 the steam engine disappeared and the whole traction became diesel, and following on there was a closure of the branch lines, there was recession in the traffic, and staff were being reduced in numbers. The morale of the staff was beginning to reach a fairly low ebb through these reductions and insecurity of employment. But now, today, the position is completely reversed. We have the industrial expansion in the area. We have the increase in all types of traffic, a considerable increase in passenger traffic, and all this has tended to give a boost to the morale of the staff. And there is a feeling of more satisfaction in the staff working here. They have security and they can look forward with this industrial expansion to continued employment without fear of reductions as we were suffering 10 years ago.
You go home Saturday morning. You're there Saturday night. You got to come back on Sunday night. You only got 1 day to home. 80 or 90 quid. Is it worth it?
It's becoming more like city life, and I think it would be better if it stayed simple and plain, and money didn't matter so much, but other things mattered.
No, I haven't seen that many changes, not yet. Nothing for the worse. I think this is a fantastic country, mate. Never change.
There were deer upon the mountain sides, and oil still below the seas. The eagle built its lofty nest, but they built factories. Is life the way we want it new? What will the future be? I'll tell you one thing that's for sure, it's not up to you or me.